Hello, beautiful souls. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what are known as the 7 laws of the universe or the 7 Hermetic principles. Now, this is something that has truly transformed my life for the better, and I really want to make valuable content. So that's why I'm sharing this with you today, because I consider this to be extremely valuable. These teachings can be considered as one of the most ancient and most influential ways of thinking across the entire universe. And that's why they're considered to be universal laws, because regardless on what sphere or what solar system you incarnate into, you will be able to observe these laws and most likely find these teachings as well. I will do my best to simplify them and give you examples of each so we can better understand what they are, how they work, and how we can use them to improve our lives. Before we begin, we have to acknowledge the fact that these teachings have been hidden for ages and have only been passed down from master to initiate in what are considered to be the secret or hermetic schools of the world. The fact that we're actually talking about this right now in the open without running the risk of being killed, it's a great sign that we are slowly transitioning back into an era of enlightenment. And even though it takes time and we can still see that there's an evil force in the world trying to maintain control over this sphere, these laws are unchangeable, so the transition back into an era of light cannot be avoided. These teachings originate from Atlantis and Egypt, and the founder is known as Thoth, who was then Hermes, and Mercury, the god of the mind or the god of thought. I actually wanted to make this video today because it's Wednesday, that's the day of Mercury. People from all over the world would travel to Egypt to be initiated and to study these teachings, and from Egypt it was carried in all directions to the rest of the world. Alright, so let's get into these 7 laws of the universe, or 7 keys. I like to think of them as keys that we have lost and we can recover to unlock the doors of the temple that is our being. The first law is mentalism, and this key unlocks the door of understanding that mind is the builder. Thoughts become things and actions that are manifested in the physical. We can look at the entire universe as the creation of a universal mind, or the mind of the creator, which we are all connected to. And if we learn to use this mind to transform energy, then we are literally transforming the universe itself. This process is known as alchemy or mental transmutation, where one can take something that is negative and undesirable and transform it in their minds into something that is positive and worthy. Guys, in a way, we are gods. Like, not this person that is talking to you right now, but definitely what's moving through me and what's allowing me to do this. This is just an aspect of myself. It's an illusion, like the rest of the physical world, where everything is changeable, dissolvable, and corruptible. Now, the more that we let go of that ego persona, then the more we can connect to the mind of God, that it's in everything, that's unchangeable, undissolvable, and uncorruptible. The second law is correspondence, or as above, so below. And this key unlocks the door of understanding that our lives are not just individual, but they are also at the same time part of the whole. For example, from the microcosm to the macrocosm, from the known to the unknown, from the earth to the heavens. So our lives, everything that we do in our lives, we don't just do it for ourselves. We're also contributing to the whole. The third law is vibration, and this key unlocks the door of understanding that everything in life, matter, energy, mind, and spirit, is the result of different rates of vibration. We can take water and boil it to change its rate of vibration and turn it into vapor. So the atoms of the water are not lost, they simply move into a higher rate of vibration. The fourth law is polarity, and this key unlocks the door of understanding that everything in the universe is dual. Everything has 2 poles. There's 2 equal forces going in opposite force of direction. So like we just talked about in the law of vibration, all of life is vibrating, and as it vibrates, it's moving up and down between these 2 poles. Good and evil, light and darkness are but 2 poles of the same thing. However, one of them vibrates on the highest of the scale and the other on the lowest of the scale. So during the process of alchemy that we talked about, we can use this law of polarity to focus on the positive pole of the mind in order to transform low vibrations into high and positive vibrations. The fifth law is rhythm, and this key unlocks the door of understanding that there is a rhythm to everything and in everything, like the back and forth of a pendulum swing. the seasons, the cycles of the earth, the rising and sinking of everything, including the stars, and the consciousness of humanity. With this key, we can learn to neutralize the rhythm and remain centered instead of being moved back and forth by it. The sixth law is cause and effect, and this key unlocks the door of understanding that there is no such thing as chance. Every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. Those who are unaware of this law are moved by their environment, the influences around them, and worst of all, the will of others who they regard as more powerful than themselves. So with this key, we can free ourselves and truly create conditions and causes that in effect will help move the world into a higher vibration. The seventh law is gender, and this is the key that unlocks the door of understanding that masculine and feminine are the two genders in the universe necessary for creation and regeneration. Everything in the universe, including every person, contains these two genders in order to create. Alright guys, so those are the 7 laws of the universe, and it is important to understand that the spirit of life, or God, the good in all, it's basically the law from which all of these laws originate from, yet it is not subject to them. Like I said earlier, God is in me, but I am not God. God is in the good that I do and what allows me to do the work of good. So when one realizes that there is a spirit of life that dwells in all things, including oneself, we begin to rise in the scale of vibration. And this is what we call spiritual development. And we will go through this process and eventually return back to the source as uniquely developed life forms, and each time learning something new. I hope this video brings light into your life. I hope that you guys can become observant of these laws all around us, and I hope that you can practice them wisely and continue moving upwards in the scale of vibration for the betterment of yourself and of the whole. I send love to you all, and feel free to share it with others so you can spread the knowledge. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.